So maybe a short throw laser, like one of those, what are those, cine machines or something from LG?
Yeah, the little LG
like
ultra
40,000 lumens or
Samsung
something. Yeah,
one.
but they're like
No,
$5
they're
grand.
only like 3,000, but they're really short throw, so they don't they end up looking a lot better than the brighter ones for people who know a lot about projectors. But yeah, I think that they end up looking better, but you also have to use a special screen with them. You're supposed to use these ALR screens that reflect the light back. So people who don't know, it's a projector that's sitting really close to on the ground, and it's aiming up at the screen at this angle, and then the screen is meant to only reflect light back from that lower angle, and like from angles below 45 degrees, so you don't get all the rest of the reflection on there. Okay, so everybody who hasn't joined the fight yet, please do. If you're in chat, all you have to do is say, I think, anything, and you'll join. But if you just say a class or a race that you want to be, then you'll actually get to pick your class and your race. So there's a bunch of different ones. There's a DPS, a classless one, which is just all the default stats, a tank and a mage, and then a bunch of different races. The races don't do anything. Well, actually, the races do one little thing, but I'm not going to tell anybody what that is. And the classes have complete changes, and I have no idea which one's best. I assume that one is much better, but haven't tested them all out, and we barely tried to balance them. So we'll see which class actually wins.
Yeah, and a small correction: you do have to say anything out of the words that are here. As long as you said one valid word out of the bunch, you get to join. That matches the way it was earlier.
Yeah, I think it does. I don't think I changed that. So yeah, you have to say something that matches one of the words. I did make it so you can just say whatever the thing is, though, like the class or the race, or you can say somebody's name to pledge allegiance to them, but it doesn't show up in here or do anything yet. It's coming. Then we'll have like little counters over our faces to show how many fighters we have left.
Popularity contest coming up.
Well, you got to set it up so that you want to go for whoever has the least. All right, so you get the biggest advantage, and you go for the one with the least. Balance it out, and then I got to set it up. So I was thinking about this, and I realized that I think I could just read from multiple YouTube chat streams. We could set up like a PvP chat stream, a different everyone, like you automatically are allied with whichever one you join the stream on, like whichever chat you join, and they're battling. Set up a big war. Yep, or make it like a big giant battle then, right?
So I can see where this is going. YouTube is becoming the metaverse through this application.
Don't use that word.
So next up,
I've had to sit with people talking about metaverse for like
you don't like the word
weeks.
YouTube?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, no, metaverse. Too many times, too many weeks, too many people talking about it.
Just look at the bright side. Next week, we're going to talk about the feature creep of trying to convert to dots because we have too many players here.
If that ever becomes a problem, I'll be happy.
Until you have to deal with dots.
Yeah, well, that's when I'll find another solution. I don't know. You have too many players, then we got to speed it up anyway. Oh man, that reminds me though. One of the things I was thinking about earlier was somebody had sent me an email asking about optimizing stuff and just optimizing code. They were seeing really unoptimized bad code. It was just one of my students emailed me, and they're basically seeing this that way at work, like where they get a lot of code and it's not really super optimized. And it kind of reminded me of when I first got into like optimizing code and performance and stuff. And I remember when I first got into it, I started looking at like every bit of code in the code base where I was working as like, oh, this could be better. This is slow. This is inefficient. This could be faster. And I'd go through like all the time, and I'd like sit there, and I would catch myself like, I shouldn't say I catch myself. I would actually just go around like optimizing code for no fucking reason at all, other than I knew a way to make it faster, and I could see it, and I was like, this is slow, right? And I was like, and there was, I guess, like as time went on, I realized that I was doing that a lot and deleting things when it came to game projects. So like with enterprise projects, I found that like a big project, I'm going to know what needs to be fast, what doesn't need to be fast, like long in advance. I know like the parts that I really need to focus on and optimize, like this is going to be at, 10 million users a day. I need to be able to handle this, or however many transactions per minute. I need to be able to handle this. And this is how much data we're going to have. With a game, I feel like it's really hard to kind of know that and like know exactly what the parts are that we're going to need to optimize, and whether or not that system's even going to stay in the fucking game next week or next month, or how much it's going to completely change. And I found that I would be optimizing things constantly, and then they would just get deleted or trashed or not even matter. And just kind of end up wasting a ton of time doing that. So it was kind of something fresh on my mind, and I was curious what your guys' thoughts were. Did you guys have a similar situation where you tried to like start optimizing the crap out of everything and then realize that maybe I only need to optimize things that matter long term eventually? Or is it different for you guys? Or I don't know.
I think every coder goes through it. I think every coder sits there at some point, starts reading some forums or going through the books, as was the case back in the day, and going, oh, that looks amazing. I could do that everywhere. And then starting to change everybody's code, especially in like big game companies as well. You start doing it, and then some senior programmer comes around and slaps you around the back of the head and starts you to stop changing their code. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. A lot of times, especially if you're grey boxing and running tests and all the rest of it, a lot of that code might get thrown. So there's no point in going in and optimizing the hell out of it. I always make a kind of a difference between, while I'm building code, if I know something can be optimized, it's still clean code and it's good to do straight away, then I'll do it. And that's purely from experience. But otherwise, if I'm just running up a grey box and setting up things, I'll go back when something's gone really bad or something's really lagging or the profiler's telling me you've done something silly. And then I'll go in and look at it and optimize it. It's not just code. I mean, this is textures, models, all those sort of things. You receive a model from an artist, or you're doing the model yourself, and you've got tons of polys. Oh, I can make this cleaner. I can do these LODs. I can go down to this. You can spend forever doing that and never get your game finished. Or you can get your game finished and, oh, you didn't quite get that one extra frame, but it doesn't matter because the game is still proficient, still works really well, still goes out there. So and you've got a sign on your desk, I know, Jason. It's the difference between perfection and progress.
This one, yeah.
Yeah,
progress,
so
perfection one. I love that sign.
And this is where
my wife even says that randomly.
Oh, it's a great sign. I see it when you're a junior, you're just learning all the techniques. You're getting really good. You get to a middle level type of programmer. You're learning all these optimizations. You start putting it in there. Difference between middle level and experienced and a senior level programmer is somebody who knows when to do that and when not to do that. When to step back and go, this is fine as it is, and we'll get back to this later on. These optimizations can come in. And you see it in there. Sometimes you'll see comments that say, optimize this later, because they know it could just get chucked. And that's my experience anyway.
The last bit about comments to optimize this later. In Terraria, we have a habit of finding like 3 to 5 year old versions of that everywhere.
But that's the thing. It never got optimized because it never needed to. But the comments there. Yeah.
So one thing I would caution here early is that when you're trying to optimize, never do it based on just seeing the code. First, run a profiler and see what actually matters and what needs this optimization pass. Because on my version of I'm going to start optimizing everything, there was a situation where we updated some part of Terraria, and I was like, well, the game doesn't run 60 FPS on my machine anymore. Something must have gone wrong. I'll start optimizing everything to figure out what happened. And I was sure that only my changes were the thing that caused it to not optimize. And after about 2 days of just optimizing everything, I figured out the situation is still not good. And I was like, God damn it, there has to be a better way to figure out what the hell is going so slow right now. So I ended up pulling a profiler, and within 10 minutes, I figured it's like a tiny change that bugged and was doing 1,000 times more work than it needed to on someone else's commit because of a bad merge. So make sure you optimize what actually needs it and not whatever you look at the current moment.
I think from my perspective, knowing I don't know a lot, when I'm approaching that, I basically just do my thing, try to do a good job, right? And use the latest stuff that I've learned. But I know I'm going to learn more, and just I could do a better job later because I'll know more later. And so for me, I do that exact thing. I wait until the game starts slowing down, and I'm like, all right, something's wrong. Then I'll go to the profiler, try to figure out what it is that's happening. It's almost always something where I'm like, oh, I had no idea that took so long, or I had no idea I was doing that every frame, and then I can fix that and learn a little bit more. But otherwise, to David's point, yeah, you'll spend forever optimizing things that don't need to be optimized really because they're not really that bad. So wait until it breaks, then fix it.
And another point on this, sometimes you're optimizing on a very long project, you can be optimizing something that the hardware is going to change and make an impact on it as well later on. And that's what I see in VR a lot. People, so one of the companies I run targets for very high-end VR hardware with graphics cards dedicated to it because it's location-based entertainment. We get to set what the graphics cards are, what the hardware is, and everything for it. If I was optimizing like hell right now, by the time that game comes out, it might be redundant because the hardware we bring in for that might need to have a higher level of graphics, might need to be a completely different graphics card that comes out. So yeah, sometimes you just got to think in advance. And a lot of that, and also people shouldn't be super concerned about it. A lot of this stuff comes with experience. You'll build something, you'll find that it needs optimizing, you optimize that. Next time actually I could just run this into the code as I'm building it. And you'll know when to do that and when not to do that. And also optimizing other people's code without asking them or talking to them first can really, really piss off certain coders because you might be optimizing something away and instead harming something else down the line that you're not sure about or you didn't know about. Adding a ton of extra memory because you're optimizing down the speed it processes. There's certain things to know and learn as you move on.
It's not just about memory. It's also when people make code open to change later because they know a feature might have to get added. Sometimes the process of optimization is saying, well, we are doing this set of things. We are not going to need all this other set of things that is here. I'm going to remove that just so the code runs faster. But actually, that other set of things was preparation for a feature that is about to get added or some easier tool preparation for the future. Like if you need some kind of data to make sure everything goes right in a simulator and somebody removes all your auxiliary, this is running okay checks. This might be something to watch out for. Also, if we're talking recent optimizations, when I got to pull this project, the battlers, I found that every battler was calling find object of type every frame. So just removing that got us to like 30%, down to 30% of the frame time it was prior. So that was fun.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's one of those you profile and catch quick. I think that's one like those that started off with there were only 2 battlers in the scene, so it didn't matter. And then it became there's a battler for every player in the scene, so suddenly it mattered. Yep, and it becomes a big mess. Oh, like people are dying. I put in a bunch of death messages just to taunt people as they get taken out. Yes, people.
Well, it's really nice that everything is now using the nav mesh to move around.
Yeah, I like watching them move a lot more. It feels less crazy. Like I can tell what's happening, except for the characters that are going out the wrong way. I guess because they don't have a faster way up to their position in line. Oops, and they're not scaling back down. So the winners are staying large. Whoops, I gotta fix that. So they double in size when they win.
Now you know who won the round until
Who's
the
ready
next
for round
time.
2? Yeah, maybe when round 2 starts, shrink them all back down.
They just get bigger and bigger and bigger every round.
No, I think they just scale to like 2x their normal scale or 1.5 times their default scale. It was just something to show that they had won before we had a death animation. I could probably just remove that because now the dead character plays a death particle.
Yeah, some of them aren't actually attacking. They're just standing there and they're not attacking, but they're winning.
They're using their mental powers.
That on?
The rat.
The rat didn't do a thing, but he won.
Yeah.
Let's watch again. I wonder if he just doesn't have his attack animation in the override controller. If so, I mean, we can debug that, and it'd be a fun one to debug live while we're at it.
After someone wins, though.
I wonder. So, how are the classes doing? Has anybody noticed the pattern yet? Are we like all yellows? Oh, lots of yellow and red up there. Not very much blue, and no white. I see. Oh, and there's 2 white ones in the back. Huh?
So you've got a rat at the top. Let's see if he has an animation. You see, he's doing something, but the previous one didn't. Yeah, so you've got a bug there somewhere with launching their animations.
Something not playing the animator. I wonder if it's like somebody who switched characters or something and it's got the wrong animator or something else.
Wait,
look at that banding on that drop?
Okay, so here's actually an important question. I disabled the YouTube character, the YouTube message listener after the rounds start, because changing a class might change your maximum health, and I was putting code there that goes, well, just heal them to full so they have their actual health benefits. So did you enable it again? Because if people can change their class right now, that would mean they can heal themselves to full. I don't
think so. I haven't seen anybody change class yet. I'm pretty sure I didn't change that at all.
Watch everybody try and do it now.
Yeah, I guess you'll see. One thing though, so I don't know if you guys can see the classes on the right. Let me pull this up a little bit. Where's that right text? Where's our canvas? I'm like blind. Race mod canvas. There we go. I move this up a little bit. Oops, that went the wrong way. Let's move this the other up.
Down.
There. Now are they showing? They're still kind of behind our names. But you can see the numbers of each class that's there.
See, the rat's not moving. The bottom left.
Oh. It's not. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on there. So this rat on the bottom left, we'll go find him.
You've got an error popping up.
You can just press the butler and then F. But yeah, that
works. Just find him, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got this guy. He's got the rat animator controller, which is an override. His controller setup, right? His animators right here. Let's see. Let's go select him again. Let's uncheck play maximize.
I wonder if it's just not attacking, and that's why he's not showing the animation. Like he's just rolling low all the time.
Oh,
no, he's dead now. He just dealt damage, and he
won.
Played animation.
Interesting. Why is he not animating?
So here's a possible case.
I'm gonna watch him walk off and see if he doesn't even switch into locomotion when he's running.
Okay. I think I know why. So if you look at the animator, it says animator is not visible, and then calling mode, call update transforms. So it might just be that he has a bad hitbox, and because the visibility bounds, and because he is not in the bounds, you can see him. If you go to the skinned mesh renderer and you set it to apply dynamic updates, that would probably fix
now
it.
The rat is running in the bottom right without actually going anywhere. He's doing his ice skating thing, but now he's moved.
Yeah,
there you go. He's not moving. You can pause there.
Yeah. No, because
bottom left.
Okay. Yeah, got nothing.
Yeah, he's still in idle. His speed isn't being set. Interesting. I don't think any of his parameters are actually changing.
Is he missing any component that the other battlers have? The battle models? I mean, the model
it's
rat.
The same rat.
A lizard.
Yeah,
it's the same rat going for every round. Then Yeah. No. So no, if it's the same player going all the way through, maybe that one
the same
just
one
got
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something must have happened with that character's data. Oh yeah, it's animator set to the knight instead of the rat. There we go. So that's the problem. So something, whatever set in the animator, it's probably in the class selection, and it's probably not updating when you, or the race selection, probably not updating when you change the race. That would explain it. This is why I wanted to do these tests. Oh, we're down to almost no battlers left. The final 2 fights. So yeah, whoever wins this one, I'll just send them a code for a free notebook or mug. Just send me an email right after, whoever it is. We'll watch and see what it is, and we'll do one more round and see if we can fix that bug real quick, and then we'll do one more quick giveaway round and do some other prize on the second one.
Now the question is, does the tank get to be a finalist or not? Apparently not. Another of the DPS.
All right, so now it's just 2 DPSs. So I think we'll have to nerf the DPS in between rounds a tiny bit, just so everybody doesn't pick DPS. Oh, they just hit hard as thing.
Have you put an animator offset in there yet for the first animation that goes through?
Yes, that's in there.
Good.
Yes. All right, Mad Liberator, shoot me a message and send me an email real quick. Just yes, congrats. All right, let's see if we can fix that bug. So it's in. Let's see, where's the code? Oh, I need to move all these files here. Let's do that too. All the random crap I've been creating just by hitting add create script. The little create script content.
Things that are about to go wrong in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it'll be fine. Okay, so we've got our player data. I think that's where we need to look. Oh, you know what? My window's not going to show up. I'll have to switch and share my other my code window once we get it opened up. So let's see if we can find this real quick. So we got the player data, and my code editor is going to open eventually. And I think what we've got to do is just make it so that animator gets updated whenever the class gets updated. Because I think there's the method to try to find a model. Here, let's share that screen.
Yeah.
So stop sharing this one and share writer. Where's writer? There we go. Okay. So when we set the model right here, let's find all references to this. Once it finishes loading my project in Writer. By the way, for anybody who wants to win a copy of Writer, we'll run the full thing during the actual show or after the show and give away a copy of Writer. Okay, so we got our set model here. Calls in when they select a model, but it doesn't actually set the model on the player. Where's the method that sets the model on the player? I forgot where that is.
So it's the method set. So players.set model, I think it was in that class. The character model class will try to set one if there isn't one. So if it's that, what you're looking for.
No, looking for the one that switches the animator when it sets the model.
I think it's in the character model. So go to Battler for a moment.
Where was that? Okay.
Up to the top, and in the serialized references, there's a character model class. Go to that. And then here, there should be a method that says show model for player. And then
that was
this one. Should be.
It's where this one was called. So update player model.
Just a headshot sprite game object.
We're not using headshots anymore, are we? I don't have them in
I have no idea. I don't even know what it is. It was just
before there were health bars on the corners, and they had a headshot of each character there showing it. Okay, so
let's show model for player, I guess.
Yeah, it was just to show so you could tell like which player was which. But let's see.
No. I mean. Well,
I'm just gonna move that code to show the model when we update the model. Let's figure out where this is called by.
No, I think this is still being used though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I removed it so I could find the 2 spots where it was used.
Why not just find references?
No good reason, other than Ryder was being slow and not responding to my hotkeys. That was pretty much it. Okay, wait. So this was okay. Here, let's just go back into it. I've lost my spot. Update player model. I'm gonna re-enable this.
Yeah. So the first line here, you want to go step into it, I think. Wait, I think you removed.
Well, this isn't getting called is the problem. This isn't getting called when they switch their character. But it doesn't need to return anything either.
It should be getting called every single time because it's in the butler, right?
But it's not getting called. It's only getting called when they bind the player data the first time. This set player, I think, is really a binding of the data. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. But it needs to get called. What? Just player class? Yeah. Player class doesn't need. Oh yeah, that one should get called too, huh? When they get changed. So both of those should be getting called whenever we do that. So that's in player manager, and then no, it was in.
So right now the class would update for the player data, but not for the butler. So when the first set of rounds start, like when you stop listening to players and just want to start battle, you should just call update on everyone using the same butler method, and that would set you up properly.
Right, but we also want to call it whenever they set it, right? So that they get it instantly. So they get the new model. So it'd be after we process.
So that you want to put something like that in the player builder. It might be easier because the player builder is where all the changes go through. So if someone in YouTube writes a message, it goes through the player builder, which then sees a message, set the class, update the player data for it. And then when the player data updates, the battler wants to update as well, if it exists.
Right, and the battler...
Right now, there isn't an easy way to do it. Yeah, you don't really have a reference from player data to the battler, so might want to add one.
We definitely could.
Live debugging.
Yeah, it's fine. So set player is really binding. I'm just going to rename this.
I haven't even seen this code yet, so the first time I'm seeing it.
This for now.
Yeah.
Make a field on there. I don't really like my reference, but I'm going to accept it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Whoops. There we go. I should update them correctly.
Yeah, I guess.
Should we hit play?
Yeah.
Let's see how many people. It's going to auto grab everybody who came in. Email it to jason@game.courses. Mad Liberator. I just see in the chat. And then
also remember to
go ahead.
Also remember to nerf the DPS class.
Oh yes. Let's nerf it. So here, can somebody try just changing class real quick in chat? I just want to see if it switches for you live. I don't know if anybody's changing. It's hard to tell.
So is it changing for anyone? Because we still see the code editor.
Somebody just changed.
Oh, I just realized
Mohammed just changed, didn't he? Yeah.
I just realized I'm not sharing the screen. Okay, it is working. So let's share the proper window, and everybody can see if they're in yet or not. So I just changed myself to a rat. Let's see. I'm gonna be a knight.
Yeah, somebody just updated our model.
All right, so I'm gonna restart it real quick. Once I change my guy, there he turned into a knight tank. I'm gonna nerf DPS a tiny bit, so everybody has somewhat of a tiny chance here, and then we'll go from there. So DPS right now has +5 attack damage. Oh wow, that's it. Okay, I'll make it 4 attack damage.
Well, you say that's it, but that's +50%.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is +50%, isn't it?
Because the base attack is 10, so
yeah. That's why it seems so small. But yeah, okay. So let's go to like a. Should we go to 4 or 3? I think 4 seems good. Do you think we should go down to 3?
Yeah, go for 3. Maybe mages will get a chance after.
Okay, we'll do 3. 3 it is. All right, so here we go. We're gonna start up. Everybody join in. Pick your class, pick your race, and good luck. Whoever wins this one, send you a code for a hoodie or mug, whichever one you want. So it'll just be a code for a little bit more. All right, let's see how many people.
What did you
we
give
got
to
here.
mages, by the way?
What's that?
What did you give to the mages, by the way?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Here, let's pause and take a peek. So mages have. Oh, I took the assassin. I just renamed him mage because it was
Whoa,
I couldn't spell
wait.
assassin.
Life regen in combat -5? Am I reading this right?
Oh yeah, I just removed their in-gen combat regen. Their default.
Wait. So
oh wait, you know what?
regen in
I don't know
combat
if
1?
it clamps.
It doesn't. Yeah, so they lose health instead of regenerate.
Okay. Let's see. Let's find this regen in combat.
So yeah, so regen in combat default is 1, if I recall.
Okay, so let's clamp that. 0, comma, regen amount.
And this is why you want integration tests in your project.
Integration testing. That's why we test it live. Okay, so everybody may have to rejoin. We'll see. If you already joined, you might have to come back. And there's a lot of yellow. What was yellow? Tanks.
Thanks. Yeah.
A lot of tanks. All right. So we got a clamp in here. Okay, let's screen share it. I'll show the code. That way, if I messed it up, we can catch it real quick before we run it. So the code for regenning was right here.
Yeah.
And I've just added a math.max of 0 or the total combined amount instead of letting you go below 0 and lose health over time. All right. Let's hit play. Okay. Okay, good. It caught most of the people that had joined already. If you still want to join, pop in. It looks like we got 26 people so far. Not very many. I give everybody like a minute or 2 to hop in, and I'll start sharing the correct screen again. So pop that up. It's weird how much fun I have just working on and building this thing.
Yeah. It's also a good crash course with plastic for me because I actually didn't use it actively with relogic in work capacity. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, it's been good having a plastic project with other people that's getting used and seeing it. The merge thing was actually really nice. I was surprised how well that worked.
Except it crashes like 5 times out of 10 for me.
Oh, I didn't have it crash yet. The merge tool? Whatever it was.
Just the in project thing. The plastic client is perfectly okay.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
All right.
Whenever it updates, it has a chance to corrupt itself and just crash the entire project.
So, Andrew, did you get this thing working on your stream too? Over on your
channel?
Yeah.
I clicked the button and turns out I can stream to my channel too. But I think the chat works and it shows up here in Restream, which is cool. But I think it wouldn't work with the game. So
it wouldn't unless we set it up to just read from multiple. So if we want to set up another key, you could just set it up to read from multiple streams. There's nothing in there that would stop it, and we could just, like I said, associate the stream with the person and then give them some little tag. I'll put your face right over them, like your icon right over the character. That'd be hilarious. Give them a little badge.
Yeah, that would be interesting. If there's a different buffs depending on which stream you're in, or like good versus evil. Something like that.
It's got to give you different power. So I was setting it up so that you could pledge to people and then get power based on who you were pledged to. Just haven't set up the stats for it.
I'll be on Team Edward.
Well, there's already a Team Andrew.
Oh, well, we need Team Edward and Team Jacob.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's an old reference now, I think. I don't know how many people get that one.
And people that do hate you for it.
I know.
I do. All right. Everybody who wants to join, go ahead and come on in now. I'm gonna wrap it up in just a minute. I think I want to kill this stream in about 15 minutes or so. It's still Christmas Eve and got a bunch of other Christmassy things to do. But if you want to join in and have a chance to win a hoodie, now's the, I guess, last chance. Say what you want to be, and then we'll start the fight.
You know, this reminds me.
Go What's ahead.
That? It's reminding me of something relatively old by now, but back when I started using Unity and I was like, I want to make a multiplayer game. One of the first results I found was Merry Fragmas was a tutorial series about, I think, using Photon to send RPCs and all that to make an FPS based on Christmas. So now it's a Christmas memory.
I remember Photon. I'm gonna do some multiplayer stuff soon. Maybe this weekend or I guess next week.
I just got an email from Unity about their new stuff.
Oh yeah, it looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, they just
I was trying to play with it,
stuff.
Getting a little lost in the docs, but I think it seemed interesting to see how that ends up comparing to Photon and the alternatives and stuff.
You're on the beta group, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems cool. But are you guys ready? We got a lot of mages. Well, a lot of people switch to be mages. I'm gonna hit the button in just a second, and then we'll get started.
Hopefully they probably saw some regen health thing as you were switching through and noticed how they can win.
Yeah, they saw that I unnerfed mage regen. All right, here we go. 35 battlers. Watch them go. Oh, whoops. I guess the randomization thing. I probably should do that before the battle. Yeah, it randomizes the order and then sends them in.
As people join, you should random and then have them so they're moving around on screen a lot more before the battle goes off.
Idea. They just kind of randomly swap spots every second. Somebody picks a new spot. And just
the other thing I would do is, as you're waiting for this game to start, actually have characters rotating in the middle, and then have what their race is, and then offer classes next to it. So you're not just looking at the little text up in the corner. You're also getting those previews, so they can preview the characters they're going to choose. Because then you get to show off Andrew's characters. You could also put a link in there to the Unity store where you can get those characters
with your affiliate link.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, always a good idea.
Next week, how to cripple your performance with multiple camera renderers.
That's right. So we have a good video card, it'd be fine.
Yeah, put a camera to the side, render it out to a texture, set it in the middle of a canvas. All good.
I don't know what's going on with these characters. What the hell?
Someone had 15 out of 0 for a moment.
Yeah, right? And then I saw a dead guy come down.
You've broken it.
Oh well.
No, definitely not. 25 out of 25. That seems wrong.
Yeah, very wrong. There are two mages.
It's not updating the max. That's the problem. When it's switching the character and it's updating them, it didn't update the maxes. So it has their old character max
because it didn't values. Yeah, because it didn't heal to full.
And you got a particle effect that lags on some of them as well.
Oh well. And that how did the chest end up with 175 health? I'm so
yeah. So I think what happens is every time the class is set, maybe it's adding the changes instead of overriding them, because the stat changes adds the class. So because it's meant to be able to stack, and we didn't reset it. So every time you type a new class, you get all the benefits stacking. So you can be tank, and then you'll have like.
So whoever was the most active is probably going to have a little bit of an advantage. We'll see if they win.
Or they could really screw themselves off because some classes have negative stats.
So also you could do some bits where you swing this camera around so now we've got 2 in the front there, but when there's just 2 in the back, you could swing the camera past these people that have already won, so you're focusing on on the fight that's going on. You could slow time down as somebody dies and goes out. Yeah,
I had some camera
feature
stuff
creep
like
the
that
stuff out
going,
there.
but it wasn't working right, and I was having a hard time getting it to focus the characters right.
What is happening behind?
Michael is fighting Mohammed, and neither one of them is animating. That's all.
Yeah, Michael had 325 health.
Yeah, as I said, Michael was the most active in chat, I guess.
Nice.
So for anyone wondering why the stats are all over the place, we have a bug where the stats stack every time you change your class, and if you change to the same class, it keeps stacking with itself. So whoever typed a lot of classes got really weird stats right now.
This is why I wanted to do this as a test stream to test this thing out.
I want to get hold of that beholder character and smooth those frigging polys out. Look at them. Look at the normals on those polys, Andrew.
Yeah.
Nice and straight, giving the edges around them.
Those aren't my characters.
Oh, no, they're not your characters. No, I'm the beholder.
All right, let's see who finishes it off. I have a feeling Michael's got a big advantage here, but we'll see.
See the beholder at the back, Andrew? He's got those polys that are just nicely showing on that sphere.
I can barely see it in the screen.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, it needs to have those normal sorted.
All right, maybe we can fix this bug and run one more.
Hello.
Uncheating battle.
Stack tank is winning.
If you have a minute. All right. I got a feeling Michael. Oh, Omer and Michael.
Well, one of them has more health than the other, so.
One does, but I wonder if the other one has more crit.
No.
All right. So, Michael, send me an email. I'll hook you up too, and then let's fix this bug. All right, let's go through and
So that would be in the Butler class. You want to set stat changes to default before updating the class.
Yeah. So where are we doing that? Do you remember?
Yeah, Butler class, and then when you've set the class, there's a method for it. We don't see your editor again, so.
That makes sense. I gotta remember to share it. I hate how it doesn't just auto switch. So one downside to using Restream, I can't just share like a section of my.
So you see that update player class, it has plus above that at a line that says Butler stat changes equals default.
Plus.
What?
Oh, could we?
Oh, yeah, you could just not do that. I did it this way because I figured multiple things would be able to change the stats. But yeah, you can just set it to that. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else is yet, but yeah, something should. Well, here, let's just.
Yeah.
Let's do that so that it's ready for it when something else does modify the stats. Okay, so that should reset it. I'm gonna hit play real quick, just make sure that the fight looks right.
Yeah.
And then we'll take entries one more time. Let's see. I'm just going to hit start with the people that we got here and just look at everybody's health and make sure everything looks right and that they regen right. So we won't count this one, and then we'll go on to one more actual battle. And if anybody wants to try to break it, please try to break it now. That's kind of the goal. All right, let's switch screens so everybody can see the final battle test. Hopefully this thing is all tested up and working.
And one more thing, in a bit of shameless promotion, I guess. Terraria is nominated on the top 5 of the Labor of Love this year. So if you could please vote, that would mean a lot.
And you want to drop a link for that in chat too?
Sure.
It's discounted in Steam at the moment as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so go get it, people.
All right, this looks like it's working. I'm going to remove the part where they scale up to.
And then comment on Steam about how great Uri done with the game, and tell his boss to give him a raise.
Yeah.
Find the link.
Yeah, definitely go vote for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, it's the Steam Awards, and I wasted it twice.
I'm gonna drop that in chat.
Yeah.
And on the description.
I mean, vote for whoever you feel, but we really want that. Really a lot of great games there. Labor of Love.
Labor of Love. I will vote for Terraria. Oh, log in. Okay, here we go.
All right, everybody who wants to enter for the last one, we'll just do one more hoodie and call it a day. How's your chance? I'm going to give it maybe a minute or so. Type in the race and class you want, and we'll get started. And thank you again for helping us test this out. Super helpful having a bunch of people in here and finding these things. I never would have found that last bug if it was just me testing it on my own. So this is super handy and helpful. I really appreciate it. And it's also thanks to you guys for just coming out and popping in with no notice at all. It's really cool.
It's really fun too.
It was either this or go for a walk with the wife. So,
is it freezing out there?
She blames you.
Really cold.
Freezing? It's freezing. It's LA.
Well, I mean, not England freezing. I mean, is it LA freezing?
It's LA cold.
It's like below 60.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, there's no way freezing because I'm further north and it's like 10 or 15 degrees colder here. So you can't be freezing down there.
I'm freezing. No. It's down to like it's 54 degrees outside.
50.
Okay, so Unity crashed.
Oh.
Wait, is it? Yep. I literally just got the crash window. It just popped up.
Oh. Is it a memory stream related bit?
Oh. Let's see. Go to crash logs. Don't know what it is.
Time to report to Unity Live.
Well, I just submitted a vote for the Labor of Love category on Steam. There you go. Did you paste that? Did you paste the link in chat?
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it.
Oh yeah, no, it's in the description, people.
It's in both.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, well, we'll just relaunch it. I have no idea why it crashed.
So, from my understanding, it's whenever it crashed for me, from what I've seen in my logs, it's the plastic SEM window trying to update, and somehow its memory stream corrupts, and this is what crashes the Unity editor.
Interesting. I wonder if it was related to that or something else. It didn't say anything in the log about plastic, but the log didn't really have anything useful at all.
For Mohammed, it's Terraria on Labor of Love, Euro's game.
Which one to vote for?
Yeah, he was just asking.
So. I just put vote for your favorite Terraria. All right, come on in, import. God, this import is so slow. It's been almost a minute now. It seems like it's gotten slower.
The power of importing.
I can't imagine what it's like if you have a slow computer.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, some of these things are kind of ball capped by the sheer nature of trying to open and close files to read them. The more asset importers you have, the more processing it has to go through as well. I remember adding one asset from the store once, Sharp Shadows, I think it was, and that one was trying to process every single model to make sharp versions of it for the shadow casting, and that made every single animation file that had a model in it also do the same. And I ended up with like 10 times longer importing times, and somehow my project bloated to like 10 gigabytes because like 300 animation files decided they need 2 versions of a character model in the asset.
Oh, yeah, so, that's no fun. I've had that before though. Pull in an asset and everything blows up.
You know, XNA has this really weird quirk where once in a while it will decide that regardless of all the assets having been built and none of them having been changed, it goes, well, I'm just going to rebuild all assets now. I feel like it on build time. And you're just stuck there waiting for like upwards of 40 minutes, not being able to do anything because it wants to build assets. That is the war, and we call that a random rebuild, and it happens approximately once a week, but it's inconsistent. So don't work with game engines that decide to do that for you without your consent.
It sounds very, very terrible. All right, everybody who wants in, last chance to join, just say your race and class combo. Somebody asked if there's a way to see your race and class off screen. There's not. I mean, if you say it, it'll show up in chat. So as long as it's showing up in chat. Then
this is where you could also have a camera as everybody's waiting that scans around all the players that are standing around the
That's
thing.
what I wanted. I was trying to set up a nice dolly cam that would kind of like loosely go around and look out there, but I was having problems getting it right and getting it looking a way that it wasn't terrible. An idea of how it should work. I just couldn't get it to look the way that I wanted.
Finish all the gameplay and everything, and then when I've got a moment, I'll come in. And if you've set it all up, I'll come in and smooth all the animations and do all the bits for you.
Make it a AAA game real quick.
Yeah, can do if you want. You know, it's like a week's worth of work, maybe a couple of days. Yeah.
Do you have modeling experience?
Dave's actually pretty good with art.
Yeah, I used to do. I used to be a tools programmer, so I used to have to model with the guys at Sony, and a lot of them taught me how to do really nice modeling. Not too bad.
I might have to pull you over to the side later because I've been looking at a lot of models lately, like a lot. I decided to do a binge on all my assets that have humanoid models and see which ones have the best rig practices so that I can see I want this, I learned this and I'm going to use that and this and that because I want to make a perfect rig for like a character that I want to have fighting. And I was seeing a lot of very, very, very weird practices that I'm not sure why they're there.
Yeah, sometimes they can be there for different game engines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, we'll talk. We can chat about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have like 15 gigabytes of imported models that I'm just opening, looking, closing.
You've also got Andrew as a wonderful resource as well.
Yeah.
Except I of course don't know much at all about the actual modeling because I work with other people who know that stuff, and I am not good at that myself. So, yeah. So who knows?
All right, is everybody ready to hit start on the fight?
Yeah. Do you want to call out who you think will win out of these?
We've got 37 fighters. I'm gonna give it to Omer this time. He lost the last.
Go for Michael Die.
I was literally
about to say Michael Die as well.
There must be something about that place in the screen.
Dwayne, I'm gonna have Dwayne
and watch him get randomized. Here they go.
Dwayne on this one.
Randomize.
Oh, who appeared in the middle there? Popped into the center of the screen.
Yeah, if they're too far, if they're more than 20 meters away, they just teleport to their spot.
Oh.
It was a ghost. It's a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature. Yeah, that's right. The ghost teleport.
Yeah.
All right. So who's winning so far? Oh, Omer won the first round. See, I told you.
Yeah,
that water
effects are lagging. Yeah,
best for death, huh?
And you need some other death animations. That big, whatever it is, flying creature, the purple one, who everybody seems to pick, that doesn't have a death.
Oh, is he missing a death hand? He might not have one.
I didn't see him die on the last one.
Well, nobody has.
One of these has to die.
Now we can see if the classes are kind of balanced.
Oh, okay. He didn't die last time, and now he's dying.
Something quirky with the animation.
Michael won. Michael didn't die.
Survive.
I haven't been paying attention. Is Dwayne still alive?
Oh, I missed him. I don't know.
Hey, I've got to hop out. I'm going to a family thing, so I'll see y'all. Hopefully,
all right.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Andrew. I'll see you soon.
Have a good one, buddy. Yeah, I have notes.
You got notes?
Just notes.
I've always got notes
on everything.
People show me their games and pitch them to me, and I'm like, yeah, I've got notes.
All right, Dave. So we're looking to get funding.
Oh, yeah, dream on.
we don't need much. We think 2 million's enough.
Jason, I don't know if you heard about that, but there's this video you should probably watch before asking him for fun. It's called 30 Things I Hate Your Game Pitch.
More importantly, there's a video with these guys that talk about it, and it goes on for 3 hours where they talk about people pitching. And I think it was a game dev show.
Yeah, it's definitely should watch that one.
Obnoxious English guy pitching out advice.
No, he's Irish.
I hope.
Also, there's about 40 episodes, so you might want to watch all of them just to be sure.
Where is Jason, by the way?
He's traveling, isn't
he? Yeah, he mentioned he'd be traveling and won't be back until January. So
I missed that. Hopefully, he's having a good time.
Yeah.
Also, I want to get rid of this banding on the drop light you're putting in there, the drop color. You got banding.
Yeah, so that was just I used one of the textures that was in the project, and it had that in the texture.
Yeah,
so
just need to change the method on it.
Yeah. Just add a new one. I wondered if every class should have its own unique shape for the
an icon just next to the health bar saying its class would be more informational.
Well, about the information, I figured it's easier to just see it on the map diegetically instead of in the UI, but yeah.
Yeah, the colors do make it easy to tell, like, there's a lot of tanks right now.
So one of the things I think is that games should be able to show almost all of their information without having UI up, because it's easier for people to digest. And at the start, I wanted to give every character here a unique material that can just change their color, but that was way too much for the time I had. So I just want
to give them all a tint.
Yeah,
I think there's actually tints of some of them, though. I think there was a tint texture of them.
Well, it should be easy. It's just I didn't have the time to set it up. No, you have to assign the renderer and then make sure the material has a property for the color and that the base color is bright enough so that you can see it properly.
Yeah.
And then make sure it's not hideous as well, because if it's hideous, it's not worth it. God, I hate when games give you like, this thing has customization options, but there's this one bit that you won't be able to change that completely ruins your entire color. One thing I really loved about Anthem was that they allowed changing the materials of the objects, and they had like shaders that you could assign to your mech and stuff. That was like unexpectedly a really nice customization feature. They had like iridescent material.
Customizing stuff's super fun. And just adding that in the games is a lot of fun.
I made a character creator once. I don't make them anymore because I ended up playing with it more than I worked on it. Just
all right, final fight.
Yeah.
Corey versus Omer. I told you Omer is going to win.
Corey's going to win this one.
Oh, he might.
Tank meta. So next up, we're going to add anti-tank items, and they are going to be very pivoting for the rest of the gameplay, eons to come.
What we gotta do is just make it so one class does percentage-based damage instead. So
what we really need to do is to pull Salim.
Omer won. So there was a mention of a bug too, since they started with 175 in the first round, and then came back with 75. They should have started with 75. Is really the bug though. They shouldn't have ever started with 175. That's definitely broken. Oh yes. Omer said it's all because he liked, subscribed, and hit the notification bell. That must
good man. Good man.
Oh, thank you so much. That's funny though. That would be great if that was like a feature in there. Just get like subscribe.
YouTube's not going to allow you to do that.
Yeah, I know. if it were something that was allowed, like, hey, you get a buff.
Yeah. Let's buy stats.
No, all you can get is skins, right? If you subscribe, you get the subscriber skin.
Just don't
Do
ever
something
use
on
the
Twitter.
API and nobody will know.
Oh man.
Oh god,
Well, that
this
was fun,
reminds
man.
me that yeah, it actually reminds me right now. There was this one time where somebody wanted me to add a feature in Terraria, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll add it." And the system itself would be really, really complex, and there's no way in hell I could ever do it in the amount of time I had. So I just made it look like it worked, and I was like, "This what you wanted to do? Nah, you could you roll it back?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure," because it never really was that under the scene. It was like a visual. The best stuff is when you only have to make the front and never the back.
They fake it. Cool. Well, you guys got anything else before we wrap it up? If not, I'm gonna go say Merry Christmas to the kids and wife and stuff, and do all the rest of the Christmassy things.
No, I'm still chucking stuff out onto the channel, and so.
Well, make sure everybody subscribes. We got to get together soon, Dave. I got lots of wires and things that I need to show you.
We got to get together, Dave, because I need you to do work for me. Yeah, no, we do, and get into the workshop and do some filming in there.
My wife keeps asking me what all these things are for that keep showing up. So
and you're just blaming me, aren't you?
Some self soldering shrink things.
Yeah. Heat gun for the shrinking the tubes.
Yeah, the self solder. I didn't know those existed. It's been a little while since I was into electrical stuff. I'm kind of
old. If you're doing soldering, you better have a machine that sucks it all away. A filter.
No, I'm just using the self solder ones. That's it. So that way I don't have to.
Because I have a whole station that actually just sucks all the fumes off, and
I can't hold my hand still long enough. It's like just shaking and try to solder. I'll burn the house down. So
I've got to get a new solder.
Well, you do have a fire behind you.
That's true. Nice, beautiful fireplace going on.
I do.
Your background's getting so busy.
It needs more. You said.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I said it needs more. It needs just a huge amount of black, and then one motion simulator.
That's a challenge.
We gotta fill it up.
What if we're going to use virtual backgrounds?
I do want to wish everyone a happy holiday and have the bestest time with your loved ones and be healthy and all.
Yep, me too. What I said.
I wish everybody to go and do more work and get more projects out, because holidays are for working and making sure you're building cool stuff.
Yeah, quit being lazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to work, make some projects. I don't know. I figure lots of people probably work on their side projects and have fun. Do a little bit of both. That's what I'm doing. Work. I'm doing side projects, but you can't tell the difference between them and work.
Yeah, this is it. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they're like, "So you going to take some time off?" And I went, "I'm going to work on this, and this." And they went, "What's that different to what you do on your normal day?"
Yeah, it's the thing that I wanted, and now there's no pressure.
Came in yesterday, and I was having the simulator running on a roller coaster, and it was like, "Is that for a project?" No, I just fancied doing it, and I'm taking some time to build stuff that I build anyway.
I like Michael's comment. My wife asks if I'm working or play working.
Mine often asks that. All you have to do is build a consultancy business, and then it's the same thing. That's what I did. I have a consultancy business called Warped Imagination. That's also the YouTube channel. And now I just do the play and the same thing. So yeah, do that. And then it's legit, and she can't complain.
That's fair.
Until she looks at the invoices. Go get some work.
On my end, I use the entirety of the holidays to just work out and sleep.
Oh, what? Physically work out?
Yeah, so I basically started with a really bad track record of physical health because I had a chronic issue when I was young. And that took a neurolog and about 2 years of treatment. But that's pretty good, but I was like still in a really, really bad condition. And 2 years ago, I decided, screw it, I'm going to start with it. And since then, I've been regularly training. And because we had some vacation time now, I decided to up my training, and I've been wrecking my body trying to get fit.
It's a problem for coders. Like, I mean, Jason's gone through it. I've gone through it. most of the coders I know have gone through it, where you're sitting at this desk for 16 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. Well, I do anyway. And you start to get it. So yeah, I bought myself a rowing machine.
Unhealthy.
Yeah, got myself a rowing machine. I recommend rowing machines because you still get to sit and watch anime or do whatever while you're working out, which is what I do. Headphones in, anime on, rowing machine going for a good half an hour.
Yeah.
Get fit, people. Get fit.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know losing weight was a huge thing for me. It helped a ton.
So on the question below, Mountain Blade 2 or Age of Empires 4, I actually have a friend who's like really invested in both of these games. And from what I'm picking up is Mountain Blade 2 is way more immersive and time consuming to get into, like in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Engaging.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out. I haven't played that one. I don't think I like Age of Empires, but it's been a little while since I got a chance to play a couple games of that too. Because every time I either start coding something on these little light panels or some other project instead. I'm like, okay, I'll get to the game in a minute. First, I got to code this thing, and then I can't stop coding. So,
as a games developer, that's what you do. You don't play games; you make the games to play them. Therefore, you get something done, and you get a game to play.
What you really do is you look at all the games that have the best stuff, and then you say, I want to play that, but better, and then you start making it, and you never get to the part that's actually fun, and then you close that project and make it again.
That's what happened with Half-Life Alyx. I put it on, started playing, and I'm like, oh, I love what they've done and all this stuff. Took it off after half an hour of playing, and literally just sat in my room for 2 weeks building a brand new hand interaction system because I was like, it has to be this way. And then never got back to it, so I've still got to play Half-Life Alyx. It's still on my list.
Also about games that will take your time. So the difference between the two there was that Mountain Blade 2 has a persistency between every engagement in the fights you do, and basically it's a long-term game, whereas other games are session-based. And while session-based games can be fun, you'll often find that you engage with all the content they have really quickly. So the only thing that can change is the difficulty or dynamic maps or other players, which will act as your difficulty. And yeah, so this is why they are long-lived. But if you don't have other players to play with and the game is session-based, you'll often run out of content really quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of like the difference between a single player like big game or any competitive game where the content's really small and it's mostly just about mastering the stuff that's there. I mean, relatively small, even on the games where there's a lot of stuff.
We do have a term for it. It's called arcade. So,
cool. Well, all right, guys, I gotta get going, and I guess we'll let everybody else get going. So I just wanted to say thanks for coming out, everybody. Please hit the subscribe button, share the stream, have fun, drop a comment below if you got any questions or ideas or thoughts, and go subscribe to Dave's channel over there, Warped Imagination, and make sure you check out the Steam Awards and go vote for Terraria. All right, thanks again, everybody, and I guess goodbye.
Yeah, bye. Happy holidays.